Hello, Nikita here. So we've got a special request order for some Alzheimer t-shirts. I believe there's an Alzheimer's walk in our city on tomorrow. And so these t-shirts are for that walk. The walk is either tomorrow or it's next Saturday. Not exactly sure which one. But at any rate, I'm about to do shirts. We are doing DTF. DTF is just wonderful for full color designs. Like if you did not have DTF and you were doing this, you could do you couldn't do you could do sublimation, but you'd have to have that special spray it on the shirt, do all the steps of that. Or you could do a vinyl for the white, and actually you could do vinyl, let's see, well, vinyl for the white, because the ribbon you could actually do vinyl for it too, because it's basically has a white offset, so you could do purple and white vinyl. The gloves, you would definitely need a transfer to do that, a dark color transfer, because these are going on purple and black shirts. But thanks to DTF, look at God, you don't have to do all that. You got one step with the transfer. So we are going to be doing, as I just said, black and purple shirts. And I wanted to say, and the heat press is set at 320, 15 seconds. I think it's on medium pressure. We're about to find out. I've got my, you can either use a Teflon sheet or parchment paper to cover your DTF transfer. I am using a parchment paper. Again, if you haven't seen videos, then I've said this already, but I'll say it again. I use something on top of it because when this heat press pops up, and it's probably the same way even if you're doing a manual, but basically when it pops up, it moves the transfer, and these particular transfers are cold peel. They're hot peel and cold peel. These are cold. So if it pops up, it has not finished curing, I guess you could say, and not really adhering to the shirt, so it'll mess it up. So we want to be sure there's a barrier in between the top heat element and the transfer itself. All right, so we're loading the shirt. I'm gonna pull this drawer out, but I was putting on this t-shirt, and I thought about what I'm about to say to you is that, and I harp on this to people who are in business, that whenever they're out or when they have opportunity to be sure that they are wearing something that represents their brand, their business, t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, dog chains, all things, dog necklaces, all things. And here I am doing this video on our channel, and I don't even have on to say how you feel t-shirt. Now, we did the t-shirt, so I'm showing our work, but I don't have a t-shirt on with our name and all that stuff on it. So don't be like me, okay? Don't be like me. Take the time to make yourself your own paraphernalia, so that you can always represent your business no matter what you're doing. All right, so there's my tidbit for the day. All right, so here we go. We got the t-shirt loaded, even on both sides. We're gonna slide the drawer back in. We're gonna give it a quick little pre-press to get out wrinkles and moisture. All right, and then we are going to lay this transfer down. This is a full transfer out, I like to say, pretty big. And we're gonna do 4 fingers down from the top. We're gonna make sure it's in the middle. We're going to take our parchment paper. Just trying to see if I lay it this way if it'll fit the whole thing, and it will. So we're going to lay it this way. And we're going to put it down. Feels like it's medium pressure. 15 seconds again, and we're going to let that run. So one of the things that we have not been diligent at, one of the things that we have not been experts at, is keeping up with these types of things like the Alzheimer's walk. We know about the breast cancer, that's October, okay. But what about the other things? Autism, Alzheimer's, Special Olympics, and if they don't still call it Special Olympics and they call it something else, then my sincerest apologies. for being ignorant to that. But you know, things like that. Um, they do walk for the Humane Society. You know, that's one of the things that we have printed it out before, but then we didn't do the follow up. And one of the things about being in this business is that you have to stay on top of not only trends, but just the simple things. When does football season start? When does baseball season start? When does soccer? You know, not just the major leagues, but the little league. You know, contacting these people and letting them know that you're there, that you can provide those services. And this is one of those things, letting people know, hey, you know, this walk is coming up. If you need t-shirts, and then being strategic in when you start promoting the things. We watched a video. There's someone on YouTube, Crafted by Cassandra, and she has a podcast that she does, and she had a guest on there. I'm gonna follow the woman that she had on there, but I haven't done it yet. But her name is Kalia Woodley, I think, K-Y-L-E-A, Woodley, and W-O-O-D-L-E-Y, and she has grown her business. She calls it a crafting business, but she's grown it to $2.5 million in the last how many ever years. I want to say she said she started like in 2012 or 2014, but really honed in on it in the last 5 years or so. And so, but she gave a lot of good gems, a lot of good nuggets that I'd like to follow her. And you know, but one of the things she talked about was what I'm saying, keeping up with the walks, sports, and the seasons, and not waiting until the actual season to start promoting, right? Because then it's too late. You know, like right now we are in that Thanksgiving Christmas season, so we're in the holiday season, right? And we have been promoting our Christmas thing, but we need to go a little harder in promoting it, because Christmas is in like let me see, 40 something days, probably like 46 days now, maybe, possibly. I can't even think what today's date is. Today is the 7th. It's in 48 days, I believe. So we have to do the work of saying, hey, these are the things we got, these are the sales that we're having, you know, get your gifts and all the things. And we have to be better at that, right? When you're a small business and you're the everything, right? You're the admin, you're marketing, you're production, you're a you know, research and development, you're you know, everything. You're the accountant, you know. It's hard to find time to sit down and do those things, but that's the part of the stuff you got to do too. You know, it's more than just coming up with designs or sourcing designs. You also have to do the other part of it, and the other part of it is doing the behind the scenes work of being aware of when things are. So if there's some money to be made, you know, you're in the number of making it. You know, it's not the point of trying to get it all, but you know, just trying to get your piece of the pie. I think we think somebody else to do it, but why can't you be that somebody? Why can't you be that somebody that does it? If you are, like I said, up on when things are, you'll know. So what does that mean? That means that you need to sit down, thank God for Google, and do your research, and print off the calendar, or put it in a Google Doc, or a Word doc, or a spreadsheet, however you need to do it. And as you're looking, go ahead, what make that part of your, you know, the day that you do your admin work. Make that a part of the admin work. Not only see when the holidays are, when, you know, these events like the walks and things are coming up, but have, you know, 4 good designs. Come up with 4 good designs. Whether you come up with them or you go to the local Etsy and you buy it. However it works. So that you can be sure that you are keeping up with it and there's no excuses. Because it's annoying, but it's every year we're like, dang, we missed it. And I don't know if that's been, I don't know. I know y'all are perfect. So that's probably not your plight, because you hit everything. You know, you got every holiday on lock, you got every sport on lock and all of it. But we missed some stuff. And so we need to be sure that if you're in business, and this is just not a hobby, this is not just something that you're doing, but you're really trying to make a business out of it, that you're doing that type of work as well. That you're keeping up with all of that, so that you won't be last minute trying to get those sales. We had breast cancer t-shirts. I promoted, and we got one sale. Someone bought 2 t-shirts, and I know that I need to do better with promotion. But with the little effort I did do, that, you know, we got 1 sale. But thank God for Place It, you know, and I try to take the Lord's name and everything, but I really do thank God for it. I thank God for being able to do mock-ups. Because what if we had made up all those t-shirts, which that's happened. We made up all those t-shirts and then nobody bought them. And so we're sitting on t-shirts that are now going to be a year old, right? You know, you don't want that. You already have limited space for the stuff that you have. So you don't want to have to hold on to inventory. So make the mock-ups. Get the quality, download the design, put it on a mock-up. You can share that out, promote that. If nobody buys it, all you've done is made a mock-up, right? You made a design, made a mock-up. It didn't go this year. That's okay. There's always next year, the year after, right? But having actual inventory where you made up the shirts, that can be, yeah. So, like tomorrow, for another one of our businesses, we have an event. And I just thought, talking to you, there's a t-shirt that we sell for this other business, right? No one's bought it yet. But I'm not taking any pre-made t-shirts with us. What the supervisor has suggested was that we take our smaller heat press and use some t-shirts and some of those designs with us and press them while we're there. But it's not, the space in this particular big use of church, the space is limited and they are not providing electricity, so we can't do that. I could make up some shirts and take them. I don't know about that. I might. I don't know. But I definitely have to decide whether I want to wear a sweatshirt with the design on it, or if I want to wear something that says what the company is, right? Because if I wear a sweatshirt with the design on it, then people can see it and be like, oh, I want that sweatshirt, and then I can direct them to the website. Okay, sure, you know, go ahead, order it, and then I'll, you know, ship it out to you, or you can do local pickup or whatever, right? So, gotta make a decision about that. But the main thing is, for the purposes of this conversation, is one, be your own billboard, no matter what you're doing. If you're doing a live on TikTok, if you're doing whatever, either wear something with your company information on it, or wear something that you've done. I think it's crazy to have this type of business and you do a live video or even just a recorded video and you got on somebody else's brand, right? I was early this morning, the 5-year-old came to get into bed, and so music was playing and videos were playing on YouTube, and these 2 videos came on, and I noticed that in both videos the artist had on somebody else's stuff, somebody else's clothes, and it just made me think about what we have talked about before, the supervisor and I, how people do not take the time to manufacture or, you know, make their own stuff. So you're wearing somebody else's stuff, but you got the money to, like, why isn't somebody sitting down and telling you, you know, hey, let's look at some merchandise. Let's look at, you know, making some t-shirts or making some sunglasses or some shoes or something, right? If people who are in entrepreneurship are doing it, how come you're not doing it? You know, you have the individuals that are doing makeup and they're doing hair care products and all that, but you're in a video wearing something that was overpriced, and you can literally source the same garment that you have on. You can source it so you can see how much they really paid for it, because what you're paying, we all know this by now, is that all you're paying for is the name, right? You're literally just paying for the name, because the garment that they got to put their name on didn't cost that much, and they've upped the percentage, the markup of it for most of the stuff to like 100%, right? So why would you not do that? And that right there in and of itself is a market. And what I mean by that is, if you live in a place that has musicians and actors and all the things, hey, I have a business where I make, you know, not just t-shirts, but t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, tumblers, koozies, car coasters, you know, all the things. If you ever want to get products that you can, you know, give for, you know, advertisement or giveaway or whatever, I would love to be able to, you know, assist you with that. So here you go. It looks so good. That's on the black shirt. I'll fold them up better in a minute. And now what I'm doing is just going through and heat pressing it again to make sure it's on. It feels like, oh my gosh, the feel. I have to admit, I did not like DTF at first. But I have started to fall in love with it. And I'll do this caveat, but I think the supervisor's going to do a video about this, but I'll do this caveat real quick. Do your good research, especially if you're not printing the transfers yourself and you're getting them somewhere else. Do your good research. And I think the reason why I didn't like them was because I may not have liked where we were getting them, but I like where we're getting them now. But they have a really nice feel to them. And this shirt that I have on is DTF. And it's holding up pretty good. I don't know where we got this one from. But the feel on this one and this one, totally different. But we got it from a different place. But anyway, so back to what we were talking about. That is another, you know, outside of keeping up with the team, your local teams and all the things, local school stuff and the walks and all that, is reaching out to, like I said, artists and, you know, saying, you know, let them know you're here. You got a concert coming up, I can do your merch. The other thing that the Kalia Woodley said on the podcast, the Kathy with Cassandra podcast, was she went to a restaurant. She does merch for restaurants, and she was saying that she went to a restaurant, she ate there, the food was great, and she said before she left, she has a packet that she gives, And she went and got the packet, and she was like, you know, she asked to speak to the manager. And so the manager came and she said, I just want to let you know that your food is awesome. The food is great. She said, she was like, but you know what's not great? This merch. And so she gave a packet and said, you know, she would love to help them transform their merch, blah, blah, blah. And I think she said she's been doing their merch for like 3 or 5 years or something like that. So I wrote it down because I hadn't thought about, we've given our cards to restaurants and like been to T-Mobile and gave our cards, and you know, but I never thought about that, if that makes sense. And I've got to figure out, what is she putting in this package? What does it look like? In my head, I'm thinking about a 4x6 something where you have your business card, you got maybe a flyer with a discount code, and of course something in there that shows your work. Not only shows your work, but tells what it is that you could do for them to assist them. So that's the other thing that you could do. Oh, here's the purple shirt. I guess I'll show that to you real quick. Here you go. So they turned out really good. I love how they look. But yeah, so those are some ideas for you, right? Be sure that you're wearing something that's yours when you're doing your videos or going out and all the things. Start doing your calendar. 2026 is almost here. Now is the time in this fourth quarter of 2025 to start looking at what's coming up, making a note of it, getting you some designs together, and figuring out how you're going to promote it, setting the time for when you're going to promote it. Should you go ahead and schedule out, right? You can schedule posts on Facebook. You can schedule posts on Instagram. I don't know if you can schedule posts on TikTok. I've got to figure that out. I've not seen anything on TikTok that where you could schedule posts, but you know, now is the time to start getting all this stuff together. And if you can schedule posts that far out, that is like cool. And it's the time to do it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you all go. That's all I got for you today. Just a quick conversation and making this round of t-shirts. As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to be blessed, be in peace, and remember to say how you feel. All right? All right. Y'all be good.
Man, it's like Jackson Jones.